one of the questions I get the most, this maybe is a top 10 is about, kosher and wine. So I'll just ask it the way that I get asked. What can be non-kosher about wine? It's just grapes.
I would say yes, and I mean, I would actually say it's the opposite. It's that wine is otherwise kosher until wine is kosher until otherwise noted. I would say that, but the otherwise noted could be Gentile touch. I mean, that's really something that is of concern in, from the Mishnah and on. Really, I think there's sort of two things at play. Initially, it was concern of idolatrous libations. You never know, a Gentile could just come around and just libate it out. You never know. But the other one that occurs in the Talmud and comes up subsequently is the potential for intermarriage, because as we know, wine and alcohol can let down people's guard. And I also think that there is something special about wine. It's our most elevated beverage. And so there's a extra set of concern placed upon wine that is only placed upon wine and not whiskey, beer, anything else.
This is the question that I always get pushed on. I mean, for some reason, this riles people up. Why be this strict in 2025? Everybody has non-Jewish friends. Everybody is sharing, they're in class with non-Jews. People's roommates are not Jewish. People's coworkers are not Jewish. They're eating lunch together. Do we still really need to care about non-kosher wine? I'm gonna, I'll channel my inner student to you.
So I don't have a well-crafted statement for this. It's fascinating because, like you mentioned, post-Talmudically, Jews are in one of two places. They're either in the Arab/Muslim world where they don't have a lot of wine to even start with. So this doesn't even come up that much. And even their Gentiles they're Islamic, they're Muslim. So they're not idolatrous. They're not worshiping idolatry. So that's not a concern on that end. And then even the Jews in Europe, in Christian lands, so this is obviously a debate whether the Christians are monotheistic or otherwise, but they're generally not libating, except when they are. Of course, there's the sacrament. But so that does come up. But even so, they definitely weren't libating like the Romans were. So that's sort of like that issue kind of goes away. And then you're left with the intermarriage thing. Whether one considers the intermarriage thing as a fence, so to speak, around the idolatrous libation aspect, or just its own separate thing. To be honest, like I don't have a great sort of like meaning behind this. I'm like, it's one thing to learn the halachot around this, the various aspects of normative Jewish law, and then trying to come up with reasons. And I'm always open for people to have really great packaged answers for this answer.